Well, the Mavs bounce back. They win Game 5, 104-92, holding OKC under 100 points. They now take a 3-2 series lead. Game 6 coming up on Saturday in Dallas. Morgan, Luka got a lot of shit the last couple of days. And to be honest, he deserved it. Yes. Last game, so distracted by the refs, talking nonstop. It took him completely out of the game. Tonight was the exact opposite.
Yeah, and Jared Greenberg after the game asked Luka a little bit about that and was like, hey, you played this game with basically mental toughness, not letting anyone get in your head. And it was nice to hear Luka just talk about, I just played the game. I love this game. And just kind of talking about playing it the right way. And seeing him, I guess, respond to that answer or respond to that question the right way. I just thought it was nice. And it was obviously like, look, he looked in the mirror, held himself accountable, and did something about it.
He was special tonight. You mentioned Jared Greenberg in his pregame hit. They put up like the list of injuries that Luka has. They put right knee sprain, left knee soreness, back soreness, and left Achilles soreness. Yeah. And he also noted that if this was a regular season, he'd be out for a couple of weeks. Yeah. But the one last thing Greenberg mentioned was expect to see a more locked in Luka tonight.
He did.
And I kind of was like, okay, we'll see. He was totally fine with the officials. And we joke about it, but it's definitely a frustrating thing that I know Mavs fans feel sometimes. NBA fans are like, dude, this is like peak DeMarcus Cousins at times. We know. But what a difference it makes. Yes. And you're going, well, what's it matter? You got to complain every once in a while. No, because when Luka does it, it takes him out of complete rhythm. Yep. And what do you know? Tonight, when you're mentally engaged and not focused on the officials, you're going to be locked in defensively. Your shots start to drop again. You're playing with confidence. You're playing free.
And it helps the entire team, because what those moments do, they become such a selfish act because it really brings on this different negative energy onto an entire team. And I think, you see it throughout the league, and there's times where players can get out of it. They have a few plays where they get pissed off and they go, okay, like, I'm cool. We've seen it's part of Luka's identity throughout the years, and to see him start to figure it out this season, and not just when things are good too. I give him props for figuring it out a little bit more, even when adversity hits. And I know last game, the way that it took him out of the game, it was so nice to see him, like we said, bounce back, but not only bounce back there, but bounce back as a leader with his actions, not just mentally, but obviously what he was doing through his game.
He was nasty.
He was nasty, knocking down his shots, but his passing ability, when it is just performed like the way it was tonight, these are the moments that you're just like, this is why we talk about Luka the way that we do.
He had 31 points in this game, 11 assists, 10 rebounds. He did it on 12 of 22 shooting, and he knocked down some threes tonight. He was 5 of 11 from downtown. The passing is just outrageous, too, especially with when you're able to make passes like he is, which is like, I think he had one tonight where it looked like it was like a hook shot.
Correct.
And he fired it to the opposite corner.
And it's quick. It's
You're
crisp,
not supposed to be able to make that pass.
And it's to the shooter's
How
pocket.
do you defend that? You can't.
You don't, because that's why coaches always say the ball moves faster with the pass, right? Like pushing it up the floor, move it with the pass, all those things. And when you're capable of making that pass go from side to side in a half court offense where it's not about the defense being in the right position. It's about like scientifically the geometry of the floor when a body is in help, but the ball is moving completely the opposite direction. There's like no physical possible way for that human to turn their body and close out correctly when the pass is that fast. It is just absolutely magical what he's able to do with that pass sometimes. And obviously it leads to some good baskets for the Mavs, him finishing with 11 assists.
Like and just 3 turnovers after that 7-turnover game last game in game number 4. I loved how he played tonight, and it allowed his teammates to get into a good rhythm. Where do you go next with the Mavs? I think Derrick Jones Jr. Back-to-back games for him.
Yep.
when he's scoring, it changes everything. But what he's done defensively, I mean, hell, the end of the game tonight, I mean, to block that Chet shot when OKC's making a push, looks like they're still alive. He blocks the shot. Luka finds him in transition for the dunk, and that was the dagger, in my opinion.
And that's such a, again, that's such a big momentum shifting play, or such a dagger where you're just saying, game over, bitches, let's go. And Derrick Jones Jr. has so many other big moments, with his ability to literally fly at times, it feels like, and play so high above the rim that a ball can just be thrown that way. And he is that lob threat. He is someone that can jump up, get it no matter where it is. I mean, you talk about what he does on the defensive end, being able to jump up and block shots, the way that he's able to also jump up, throw it down with such authority, but then also make some shots as well. He was 3 of 5 from beyond the arc.
And 2 of those assisted by Luka.
God, of course. And that's the other difference, Deuce. And Charles Barkley was just talking about it before we came on, and he was talking about how, when Dallas plays with the other guys, and it's not just Luka and Kyrie that are playing well in the game, it changes everything. And Draymond was on the show, and he's like, guys don't like to just show up to the gym and be out there just to play. And he goes, well, Draymond does, because he's playing with Steph. He's playing with Clay. He's playing with these, big names. But he's like, guys don't like to just do it. They want to be involved. They want to play basketball. And what we've seen from this Mavs team, at least down the stretch of the regular season and in some of these postseason games, there is a team here that can play really connected and really together.
The one note when you talk about, hey, that can't just be Luka and Kyrie. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I do want to see Kyrie look to be more aggressive. I feel like he's been very passive. And some of it's by design. He's seeing a lot of attention right now from OKC's defense. But I feel like he's passing up some good looks right now. And I don't know. He only took 11 shots. He finished with 12 points. He's averaging coming into this game tonight 15 points a game.
And I think even when Chuck and myself we're talking about it can't just be Kyrie and Luka, it's not just saying when it comes to points, they could still each score 30 points and everyone else can be involved in so many different ways, whether it's contributing to the scoring or whatever it is. It's just, again, it's the life that goes through the basketball when the ball is moving in the half-court offense. And I think that's what sometimes Kyrie wants to produce. But the way that his shot-making ability and the way that he can create can also produce that. And you're exactly right. I mean, there was times I think we saw him, that's what it was. It was him driving down the middle, and he had a pretty open floater, a look at a floater, but he tried lobbing it up. I believe it was either to Gafford or to Lively, and they ended up getting blocked, and then they got a second chance opportunity, but it was like,
don't
Kyrie,
pass that up.
You got to take that. That is your floater. So, yes,
although
I agree with that.
You do wonder if Chet being there just made him think a little bit.
But we've seen Kyrie make such circus shots up high, arcing, over 7-footers or whatever, that I still was like, you got to look for yours first in that situation. But yes, I'm sure that did come across his mind.
Going back to Derrick Jones, we should mention he had 19 points in this game, 7 of 9 shooting. You mentioned the 3 of 5 from downtown, plus a great defense. The next 2 I'm going to mention from the Dallas perspective tonight, the 2 bigs. They combined, Lively and Gafford combined tonight, Morgan, 20 points, 17 rebounds, 2 blocks on 7 of 8 shooting.
Huge.
I thought this was Lively's best game of the series. His defense tonight was fantastic. I felt like the game was moving a little fast for him early in the series. He was missing a ton of shots at the rim. He's not missing them right now.
Yep.
But for me, it's more about his defensive effort. One of my favorite plays came in the second quarter. SGA turns a corner coming off a screen. He comes right up and help, gets big, puts his arm straight up, prevents SGA from taking a mid-range. In fact, SGA left his feet, kicks it out to Dort. The closeout comes. Dort puts a ball on the floor to drive to the basket. Who's there? Derek Lively with great defense. This was happening multiple times, and it's really shifted this series. This OKC team was really good at scoring in the paint in the regular season. They were 7th in the NBA in points in the paint, 52.5 points per game. Coming into tonight, they're averaging 41.6 points in the paint in this series, and they were held to 44 tonight. Dallas is doing a fantastic job in the paint. And it starts with Lively and Gafford's length and ability to defend. Derek Jones, PJ Washington, too.
And one word I would use to describe Lively's game tonight would be controlled. I thought he was so composed. He was, we talk about how you said like how the game just kind of came to him, or he just looked like he was playing under control and not letting his body throw around like you would see any rookie, need to experience and learn the way to utilize your body against some other bigs and just even in a team defense in the NBA. But truly tonight, under control, and just was such a huge part of this win. And
Lively does the little things, rebounds, plays tough, contest at the rim.
Yep.
One of my favorite plays from him, first play of the fourth quarter. And Tim Hardaway's driving. The reason he got an open floater that went in is because Lively was boxing out Chet, preventing him from being there to try to block or contest that shot.
Yep.
The little things are the big things, especially in the playoffs. And role players matter. You need help along the way. Those guys are big. PJ Washington tonight, no, he didn't hit 800 threes in this game, but he still got 10 rebounds. He had 10 points, and he hit that big three in the corner late. Also, missed a three, got the offensive rebound, dunked at home, had a quick 5 points in the fourth quarter when OKC was making a push. So all around for Dallas, just a really strong effort, and we saw some different rotations too.
Yeah, the different rotations was a little strange. Obviously seeing Hardy get in there right away was, I don't want to say confusing, but I thought it was...
It was confusing.
Okay, confusing. It was confusing that... Wait, this is game 5, right?
Yeah?
Yeah, game 5. I'm like, I have it right? This is game 5, and... then you get Hardy these pretty early touches. I don't know. And someone like Hardy has the most confidence I've ever seen in any NBA player, which meant that he is never afraid of the moment, never afraid of being aggressive, shooting the basketball, going to the rim, whatever it is. And I think what that allowed him to do, that freedom and that confidence allowed him to do, it's nice sometimes that you have someone willing to do that, but at the same time it felt like, ooh, you should be letting the other guys do it that have been out here.
He gets a little thirsty out there, but you're right, he's one of those like boom or bust guys, because you can put him out there, he can score 25 in a game in like 10 minutes. Like, what the hell just happened? But that was a tweak. Played him instead of Exum tonight. Tim Hardaway had some rough moments off the bench. I thought the shot selection from those two, Hardy and Hardaway specifically, not good enough. Like, those guys make the right decisions here. I know you're out there and your minutes could be limited, but just make the right play, because that's a way to earn the appropriate amount of minutes that you would love.
Yep.
A couple other notes from this game, Morgan, from the OKC perspective. The shot makes is just not good enough. And like,
it's no.
They were 10 for 40 from three, 25%. This is a team that led the NBA in 3-point percentage during the regular season, and that was right under 39%.
Yeah.
This is not just, all their shots are contested either. I thought tonight they got some great looks, and they mixed some things up. I did like the adjustment that Dagnall made by bringing Josh Giddey off the bench and starting Isaiah Joe, because it just helps space the floor. Unfortunately tonight, Isaiah Joe was missing everything. He was 2 of 8 from downtown in this game. OKC's not getting enough. SGA's being able to do his thing. Again, another 30-point night, chalk it up every time. But who else is stepping up? And they're not getting enough from Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren on a consistent basis to win this series.
Well, you start seeing Jalen Williams get more and more aggressive toward the end of the game. And that was, I mean, there was a time in this game when there's maybe like 8 minutes left or whatever it was in the fourth. And I'm like, Deuce, this is a game. Are we going to see the same thing that we just saw in game 4, where it felt like the Mavs were up the entire game? But
OKC just hanging around.
Yeah, but they were hanging around. They turned it on a little bit, but it was SGA and then Jalen Williams started turning it on. But it just wasn't enough, because even the rest of the squad was still missing some of the open looks that they were getting. And these were some pretty good looks. Like, there's nothing else that you can ask more of this crew except to make those open looks. So, yeah, of course they need other guys to step up and to give more. But also, I think that it's important to still give a lot of love to the Dallas defense that not only have we seen play such great defense throughout the end of the season, after the trade deadline, and then into the postseason. And I know you see those on and off nights in the postseason, but when it's an on night like tonight and you give all the credit like you did to Gafford and to Lively being though as effective as they were trying to protect the rim and everything, that's going to affect so many different things in what OKC wanted to do.
And that's my thing, though. That's to your point. I feel like at times they're being too relentless trying to attack the rim.
Yeah.
And it's not working. I mean, the decision making has to be, go on the attack, but look to pass.
Well, they took 43s.
I know. And that's, I think Dagnall's going to look back tonight and watch the film and go, we got good looks from three. They got great looks. I mean, how many open looks did they get? I mean,
you know what I would tell you about that too, because this was a number that you and I looked at the half. You look at their offensive rebounds. They had 8 offensive rebounds that led to 5 second chance points. And it's not about that, but it's about how many times it felt like the Mavericks ended up getting a defensive rebound and that the extra effort wasn't there by OKC to make a second chance opportunity. Dallas out-rebounded OKC.
Killed them.
46 to 33, right? And I think that number, because there's so many numbers that were pretty similar throughout this game at first, except obviously when you look at shooting, especially from three-point land. But when you look at that number, you go, oh, a lot of the offensive plays for OKC ended in a defensive rebound for the Mavs, which it went the other way. It gave them another possession to go.
But if you just go by the numbers, this team was the best three-point shooting team in the league.
Yes.
And if they're not knocking down threes, it's a problem. Dort, 2 of 8 tonight. Dort in the regular season shot 39% from three.
Of course he did.
The last 5 games, 32% from three.
Well,
Excuse me, in this series, 32% from three.
Not good.
And 31% from the field, okay? Jalen Williams is shooting 40% in this series. He's shooting 31% from three in this series. Well, he shot 42% from three in the regular season. Chet is shooting 25% from three right now in this series. That was, 38% in the regular season? So these guys' numbers have dipped dramatically.
Yeah.
Their points in the paint have dipped dramatically. So Dallas is doing a tremendous job just defensively flying everywhere. And you're right. They deserve a lot of credit. They've got length everywhere. Look at their wings. Derek Jones, PJ Washington. Then you bring in the bigs with Gafford and Lively. Luka's long too. That's a lot of problems out there.
Like, I know you showed me the shot chart for SGA last game, and you're like, look, all of his shots are in the mid-range. And I think tonight even, it's like, of course, he was still able to get to some of his spots, but I think a lot were more of his spots in the paint, still mid-range, beyond the arc. Yeah, they were at the rim. But I look at that even, and I think Mavs did a good job adjusting, being like, okay, we're not going to give him that game, that range, this entire game again as well.
To sum it up, I just think this is a great experience for OKC.
Agreed.
And I know the easy thing is like, oh, the number 1 seed could get eliminated in the second round. I'm like, first of all, the number 1 seed was, separated by how many games in the Western Conference? The West was just tight. This is a young OKC team that's playing in the playoffs together for the first time. And I'm sure it's frustrating for some of their fans, like, oh my God, we're missing shots now. But this experience is what Jalen Williams needs. This experience is what Chet needs, what SGA needs. And then they got to tweak things and get better. If I'm a Thunder fan, I'm more than excited about the long-term future of this team, even if like this team ends up getting knocked out this round. I just think the expectations maybe got a little out of whack from people around the league at times with this group. And it's like, it's okay that they're not ready. It's okay.
It is, but at the same time, Deuce, if I'm an OKC fan, I'm sitting here tonight and I'm going, it's not over. It's not over. I've seen what my team has been able to do throughout this season. I've seen what they've been able to do against this Dallas Mavericks team. It's not over. They just got to make this adjustment or this adjustment.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
If they can knock down some shots. But
Agreed.
Jalen Williams has to turn it on. I feel like the last couple of games, Jalen Williams is like, oh, here he is in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And I know that's been his thing this year. No, I need Jalen Williams going early and often. I know what SGA is going to do. Can Jalen Williams give me 25 in game 6? These are the type of efforts that are going to happen. But I can't wait to see what OKC looks like with their backs against the wall in an elimination game.
Yep.
Good news for both teams. You get some rest. Game 6 is Saturday.
Ugh, can't wait.
How are you feeling about this series? Do you think OKC can still come back? Morgan does. Would you predict it? I don't know.
Well, I don't make predictions.
Mavs fans, how are you feeling? Do you think your team could close it out? What did you think of Luka tonight, who also sealed the game with the big block on SGA, who was going downhill?
Yes, he did. Oh, yeah.
Damn.
He took a quick moment to go, and then it's like, ball still in play. Let's go.
My other favorite Luka play when he threw a lob to Lively from like the opposite 3-point line.
That was and Iron Eagle, just you are the GOAT.
He's the best. Anyway, let us know what you think in the comments below. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe.
Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. They tell you what they know. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. Deuce and Mo. The podcast that you know.